Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival is finally here.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Cliff Regano from Dry Kill Logic.
Nice here at Welcome to Rockville.
Thank you, my friend.
Did you drive on the track to get to the interview?
Yeah, first thing, we got the drive on the track. That was pretty wild. I'm not going to.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you watch it on TV?
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore fan, but I am familiar. So to be able to see that vertical.
It's not like it is on TV. That's like straight up and down.
The only thing that seems crazier is that the cars on it are going 200 miles an hour.
No doubt.
Looking at it is pretty wild.
And you have to go 80 to even stay on that
wall. I didn't know that.
You don't get up to 80.
So
that's kind of like Back to the Future.
I was about to say 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's so funny.
Your friend Bagel over there, he's getting some acupuncture here. Who would think at Welcome to Rockville, during the interview, people are getting acupuncture? I just got my hair done right before your interview. It was blonde an hour ago.
Yeah.
And there was this like hot chick who I got introduced to. She's doing everybody's hair back there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a publicity whore. Do whatever you want. I didn't even know what it looked like. I was like, do whatever you want. I've had every color in the rainbow. Go for it.
Man, you still got hair. You can dye it any color you want if you got it.
Exactly, man. That's the way I feel. As long as I have it, you know?
It's yours to do with what you will.
Exactly. So, have you played Welcome to Rockville before?
No, we haven't played a show in 20 years. This is the first show we played
since the first in 20 years.
Yeah, this is the first one. It's not just a comeback where we did a bunch of warm-ups. Last time we were on stage in the U.S. was December 2005 with Disturbed on the Jägermeister Music Tour. Last time we played was 2006 in the Netherlands. We came off the road on a headline tour. We have not been on stage for 19 years, 19 years total, but 20 years in the U.S. Yeah, wild. That was our first show.
I know, right? Oh, my God. Like, I knew it was a long time, but I didn't know this was the first.
Yeah, the very first. Yeah.
What did it feel like besides hot as fuck?
But that was the overriding sense of it. I'm not going to lie. There wasn't a lot of room to feel anything else. This whole thing has just been crazy. We're incredibly fortunate to have this opportunity, and we're just super thankful that people remember us after all this time, and that, we're able to kind of go out there and just have fun. We're just super thankful. I'm not sure we believe we deserve to be here, but we're super happy that we are.
We obviously do, because could you even imagine before doing your set that there would be that many people out there?
Most people we've ever played for. That for certain. Biggest venue, biggest stage we've ever played on. Most people. It's pretty surreal, to be honest. But again, we just remain grateful for it. It helps to ground us in all of this.
Totally. That's probably why you have the opportunity, because it's like you appreciate it and you are a musician that just wants to make people happy.
Yeah, we've always been aware of the festivals and the largesse of them, but we just never really ever envisioned playing them. So to be here, it's just crazy. It's just so crazy.
What's the story? How did it come about? 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not just, okay, go out and do it. There's some story.
There's always a story, right? When the band went on a hiatus in 2006, it wasn't for any sort of overarching issue or problem. The industry had just shifted, and you read the tea leaves and you know that your time has come. But we were all very close. We're still very close to this day. We're all really good friends, and we just enjoy hanging out together. So we're like, well, I guess we'll still hang out, but we just won't write music and be in a van eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So we always maintained a friendship, and somewhere around 2015, 2016, we were like, man, what would it be like just to write music again? Because we all, again, enjoyed it, but we just hadn't done it. So we started writing. And we wrote 2 or 3 songs. We released a couple of them, but nothing crazy. We just wanted to put it out. Fans were asking for new music. We thought it was good. We thought they were good songs. COVID happened, so we stopped releasing songs. And then I have to give credit where credit is due. We have a wonderful agent, Michelle Bevilacqua, with Continental, and she called us and she's like, listen, I've had a conversation with the folks at Wimmer, and they appreciate the fact that this is the 20-year anniversary, and would you be interested in doing some shows if that opportunity were offered? Had to say no to that. Right? No, we didn't know how to say yes because we hadn't been a band, but we just knew we couldn't say no. And then again, the offer came in for this show, and we were just so happy. And then all of a sudden, offers came in for other shows.
Whoa!
Yeah, and then it's how it works, like a summer thing. And again, all I could say is that we're just super thankful to the Danny Wimmer Presents organization and Danny Wimmer himself. It's we understand the gravity of what these festivals mean and the bands that are playing on them. And again, just to be one of them is enough. And fans seem to enjoy themselves during the set. And that's really the main goal, to be here talking to you. These are opportunities that feel a little surreal, but we're just happy to be here and grateful to be here.
I love it. And I have a question for you that I ask every band, because I've been doing the Wimmer festivals for, I don't know, 12, 13 years, every one of them.
Right.
And I always ask, how does Danny Wimmer treat the artists?
This is a master class in artist relations, in consumer experience, in event production. None really better than this. None more well put together than this. The level of detail that has gone into the planning of it. And as we've gotten closer, we've been, you get closer in advances and you get closer in information, and everything is just very transparent, very easy to understand, very intuitive. And, if you're a touring band that's in the scene, that's an amazing benefit. If you're 20 years removed from having any idea how anything works, it's a godsend. So again, to see that level of professionalism is incredibly helpful for a band that really just doesn't know which way the wind blows anymore. The best way I can describe it is, and I don't think it's an exact parallel because I think that my example probably has it much harder than we do, but in some respects, it feels like if you were to go to jail for 20 years and you came out, and when you went in, you had a beeper, and when you came out, somebody was trying to FaceTime you, and you're like, yeah, but I had a beeper, just hit 911 and I'll call you right back. And you're like, no, dude, I'm going to FaceTime you. And you have to explain to them what a FaceTime is by 20 years of technological advancement. And for us to be at a show like this, we're like, oh, how do you get there? What do you do? Well, you buy a van? You buy a van, you get a van, you drive down. They're like, why don't you just fly? Like, oh, yeah, I guess you can fly. Again, it was just learning how bands do it in these instances. It's been really interesting. It's like childlike wonder that we've looked at this whole opportunity. And wow, we're just learning it all again. And again, the Wimmer folks have been incredibly patient and very gracious, and we're just super thankful for that.
You know why I asked that question? Because in over 3,000 interviews, I've never had one artist say anything except things like what you said.
Yeah, it's again, and
that's rare.
We're just showing up 15 years later, and it's however long Danny's been doing these festivals, but it's a masterclass. It's really the high watermark for event experience and production. Yeah, it's just wild.
And I do a lot of other festivals. There's nothing that compares to it. And I love hearing that from the artist, because your job is hard enough, and especially, like you said, having played a gig in 20 years, like, it needs to be as easy as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Or else,
it's true.
If you're going to do a first festival, it's got to be a Danny Wimmer.
Again, how do you say no to these situations? If anything, I think we're going to have to worry about being spoiled. We've been taken pretty good care of.
I know. Now what? You go to some other festival, it's like, why aren't they doing this?
Again, he sets a high watermark, and that's important, right? It's the barometer for which you judge all festivals. That's just the mark of an industry leader, and that's what this team is. So happy to be a part of it. Happy to be here.
Nice. And so now you have more stuff going on. Let's tell people how they can connect to you guys and get this ball rolling.
Yeah, sure. Listen, the best thing anyone could do if you're interested in the band is listen to the music, right? We're on all the socials, and we're playing shows. We've got 2 headliners coming up in June in New York, and in Brooklyn, 1 in Jersey. And then we're going to be out on Rockfest in Wisconsin, Incarceration in Ohio, and Aftershock. So there's opportunities to see us come play live. We all run the social channels. So if you get a message from us or you see it was one of us doing it. So again, we just try to be just connected to folks. There's no separation. No layers.
I love it. I love your attitude. You guys are badass musicians too, especially after all that time. It's amazing you put on a set that you did. And then I love that you're going to be at Ink and Aftershock.
Yeah.
But Ink, Shawshank Prison. Like
I know. That's wild. I can't wait to see it.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
It's so cool. And like, I go to all these festivals and I tell them, when my daughter will call me, she'll be like, so you excited? I don't know if excited's a word. I love doing it. When I was at Shawshank for the first time, like, now I'm excited. I'm on the prison yard of Shawshank for a festival.
And to that point, and I think that's what I mean by that high watermark. It's one thing to throw a festival in a field.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to throw a festival in a field really well. But it's another thing to throw a festival in the infield of Daytona, to throw it at the Shawshank Prison. When you start to think about what constitutes a really interesting consumer experience, being in those environments, such a multiplier that it's really, I would imagine, it's very hard for other promoters and folks that do this type of stuff to think that way. But that's the mark of a leader, is somebody who's not looking in any other direction but ahead of them, and how can we make it better? And again, I can only sing the praises of those who have allowed us the opportunity, but I think if you really did compare them objectively, you would you'd see the levels. To your point, the idea that you could be in the Shawshank prison and see a metal show, that's wild.
It's totally wild. And you know what? I am so happy you're here. Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you for having me.
And man, you are definitely the epitome of this, to be a role model to show young kids, like, you can come back 20 years later and follow your passion no matter what.
You put in the hard yards, might not seem like it necessarily pays the dividends immediately, but over time you'll find yourself in a position where you can take advantage of all that hard work. I guess if I'm grateful to anyone, I'm grateful to our younger selves for just putting in the work in the moments where we didn't really know what the payoff was, because it wasn't financial. It wasn't the glitz and glamour or the rock and roll lifestyle. But 20 years later to be here, I'm just very thankful to that younger me and band that put in the work, because without that, we certainly would not be here today. And again, thanks to fans for keeping it alive. A lot of stuff to listen to over the last 20 years, and the fact that we have any sort of rotation, again, it's just humbling. So we're just very thankful. Thank you, fella.
It's rocked you being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.